Hello, I am Andres Felipe Bolivar, and the topic that I'm going to be talking about today is surrogacy. So, surrogacy, for a little bit of context, is a procedure where a woman carries a baby in her belly and she is fertilized artificially, whether to keep the baby or not. So, a very good thing about surrogacy, and also a very common sentiment about amongst surrogated mothers, is that they feel this sentiment of joy and satisfaction into knowing that they are helping other people, like starting their families or continue their families, because not everyone has the chance to, like continue their family or to have a baby, like in a traditional biological sort of way. So that's a good thing. On the other hand, we have the aspect of exploitation, and because usually the parents of the baby have a higher economic position, it can become some sort of power imbalance that can result into exploitation of the surrogated mothers, because like these other people have like more power, like economic power, and it can become a dangerous way to get into as a surrogated mother. So that's sort of like the two sides of the coin that are like kind of conflicting. I have a case in point, not about exploitation, but about like the topic of surrogacy, and it is Emily Westerfield. She has been a surrogated mother 7 times. She has had like 10 children, but 3 of them were her biological children. The other 7 were surrogated ones. And even though she expresses no regrets into becoming a surrogate mother, and actually, like she says that she would happily do it again, like until like her body, like decides to stop, is that we have to raise the question about like what if like one of the pregnancies would have gone wrong, like because pregnancies are like quite a delicate condition to be in, like for the baby and for the mother. So like what would have happened if like she would have had any complications in the pregnant in any of the pregnancies, like what would have happened there, or in another case, what would have happened if like any of the other families would have backed down, like what would you have done with the baby, because like the genetic material is theirs, but like it's their baby. So like what would have happened there if they would have regret like getting into this procedure, like what would have happened. So basically that's my topic. I hope that it was helpful and that you learned something, and thank you and good day.